I met Brian in the spring of 1980 when I was applying for a job at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center. The Art Center was just about to open brand new to the general public in June, and Brian had the distinction of bringing the first production crew together. One of the things I think about is that Brian not only gave me a chance at this industry and this business, but he gave that chance to so many others. There were so many of us that came together to fight the odds to do the thing that can't be done, which is get this building open in 3 months. It was a crazy scenario, but there couldn't have been anybody better to be in the foxhole with than Brian. Brian moved to Nashville a couple of years earlier to work with the upstart theater that was taking place there in the city. He then was fortunate enough, certainly as far as the rest of us are concerned, that he took the position at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center as technical director, where he was able to use his talents and all that he had worked so many years for and the fantastic professional training and grooming that he received through the business. He was able to put the task at the we called it TPAC, Tennessee Performing Arts Center. And, as such, he was able to not only learn a lot about touring theater, Broadway, and a lot of things that came through the hall, but he was able to get directly involved with some of the theater companies and do some of the artistic work with them, some scenic design, lighting design. Once again, I learned a lot from him on that as well. But from there, Brian went to an amphitheater, outdoor theater, sort of a rock and roll type amphitheater, and worked a few years there. And then went to work as managing director for the Tennessee Repertory Theater, which was also home in Nashville. And we continued to work with each other at an external fashion, but we had built a friendship that would never die. Brian later went to the Ford's Theater, and then where he did amazing work, where they produced many, many shows a year, as well as brought in special events. And of course, it's a national park landmark. And then after that, Brian went to Carson Center in Paducah, Kentucky.
I am John A. Williams. I'm the founder of a company called Computer Services, Inc., headquartered in Paducah, Kentucky. I was recruited to serve on the board of a performing arts center in Paducah, where frankly, I was the only businessman on the board. Most people were arts oriented. We hired an initial executive who, frankly, I was the only person in the room who voted against the hire. But the young man we hired was our initial executive, and it was not Brian. But the young man kept running up debt. After the first year, it was decided that we needed to let him go, and we went on to search. Well, on that search, I insisted that we hire someone that met the business profile of an executive, and Brian Laczko fit that profile.
He came here to Paducah in 2005 and basically rescued the Carson Center, which had opened in 2004. Financially, we were in a bit of a mess once the first executive director left. And so Brian was tasked with coming in and holding the ship steady, and really, with his experience and background and intellect, was able to do that very successfully.
Frankly, he didn't come in and sweep the place clean of staff and start over with his own people. He took the same people and led them in an appropriate way. Very impressive as an executive for a person to do that. And so I would call that one of his great skills.
Brian's always a delight. He's a supporter. He never, ever tears down, but builds up. And he has provided me the opportunity to explore myself and to grow up and be in this business in a successful way. Well, sure, there's a lot of technical stuff, a lot of production stuff, but that led to people management and in fact, doing the same thing that he did for me. And I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that Brian helped me get the start and the ability to pass on to other people the same thing that he passed on to me. I only hope that I can do it half as good as he did it.
We present Broadway. We present nationally known, internationally known concert artists. And so it is really a place of gathering for, people from all around the region. For a school show, we may draw from up to an hour and a half away. Buses may come in. But then we just had Alice Cooper, and we had people from, probably 24 states.
Paducah, Kentucky has a population of 25,000 people. The county has a population of 65,000 people. Tell me another town in the United States that has a performing arts center that costs $45 million. That's that size. You don't find them. You just don't find them. We're proud to have a center that has a major, significant endowment, a center that is not in debt, and a center that serves the region in a very positive way. Brian's 15 years of leadership made that happen.
I really, just watched and learned from him. And I don't know that he knew that I was paying attention. In fact, as much as I was, because, he was very busy just managing the day to day. And so you didn't just pop in his office and sit down and talk a lot with him. But he was always, he would be an ear if you needed it, but he pretty much left us alone. I think that his management style and I don't mean like leaving people alone, but really just letting them take responsibility and growing, their departments and whatnot, really served the center very well.
When I think back, some time that we spent, one of the things that I remember was a lot of fun was we had a conference in Florida once that he and I attended. It was a technical theater conference, and we had an extra day to wander the parks. And we were, when Epcot had just recently opened, and we started walking around. It's a big property. There's a lot of territory, and we started walking. And we would stop every once in a while and get a beer to drink. And then this happened 2, maybe 3 times. I said, you have a goal here? He said, yeah, I have a goal of walking all the way around the world and drink a beer from every country. So I'd like to think that I helped him reach part of that goal that day when we visited. I think it was 7 countries that we made it before we had to get on the bus and go back to the hotel.
Brian, congratulations on being inducted into the Benedictine Hall of Distinction. I can't think of anybody that deserves it more. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know how much I've learned from you. You may not realize that I was watching you and learning from you all the way through. And again, I just want to congratulate you. It's an honor well deserved. Thank you.
Brian, we're proud of you. We're proud of your selection. We're proud of your service that brings you to this point of honor. We thank you for the leadership that you bestowed at the Carson Center. Congratulations.
Brian, congratulations on receiving this award from the Benedictine Hall of Distinction. I'm sure that you've got a great lineup of people before you and after you for this recognition, but there will never, ever be anyone like you, pal. Love you.